I want you to imagine something for a moment. Picture a woman sitting in a small cafe, watching the rain hit the windows, her coffee slowly cooling in front of her. She's thinking about someone she once cared for deeply, someone who seemed to drift away no matter how hard she tried to hold on. Every text she sent, every message she waited for, felt like it carried the weight of her entire heart. She thought she needed to chase, to be everywhere for him, to prove her worth. And yet, the more she tried, the further away he seemed. One day, she finally realized something that changed everything. It wasn't about trying to make him miss her. It wasn't about games, or constant texting, or disappearing for attention. It was about her life, her energy, her choices, her growth. And in that moment, she understood the power of being fully herself, of creating a life so magnetic that anyone who mattered would naturally want to be part of it. Here's a quote that stayed with her, and it will stay with you too. You are never less loved for living fully, but you are always more unforgettable when you do. From that day forward, she stopped chasing and started living, and the people worth having in her life began to notice. She became the kind of presence that lingered in thoughts, not because she tried to be remembered, but because she lived in a way that made every connection with her feel meaningful. And that's what I want to teach you today, how to create that presence, that magnetic energy that leaves a mark on anyone who meets you, without needing to play games or force attention. Stop trying to make him miss you by disappearing. I know it sounds strange, but here's something most people never tell you about men. The more you try to be missed, the easier it is for him to forget you. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why this happens with real science, psychology, and strategies that actually get results. Right now, you're probably doing one of three things. Maybe you're giving him everything he wants, whenever he wants it. Maybe you're playing hard to get, hoping he will chase. Or maybe you're stuck in the middle, trying to be perfect and wondering why he's losing interest. All three of these approaches have one thing in common. They focus on him instead of you. But imagine this. Men can't stop thinking about, the ones they remember for months or even years, don't play games at all. They operate from a totally different mindset. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly what that mindset is and how to use it in your life. The truth is simple but powerful. Men don't miss women who try to be missed. They miss women who create emotional connection they can't ignore. Understanding this changes the way you interact with him forever. Most advice you've heard tells you to pull back, be mysterious, don't text first, or act distant. That's basic beginner-level thinking. Those are just surface-level tricks. What I'm about to teach you is a smarter, more subtle approach. It's psychological influence, but the kind that's elegant and invisible. He won't even notice he's being drawn in. He'll only know one thing: he can't get enough of you. If you're tired of overthinking whether he's thinking about you, tired of reading into every text, and want him to genuinely crave your presence, this is what you need to know. Here's the biggest myth about making men miss you. Are you ready? The lie is that absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's not how men's brains actually work. Simply disappearing doesn't make someone long for you. It usually makes them indifferent. What creates obsession is absence combined with emotional impact. Think of it like your favorite song. You don't miss silence, you miss the music itself, the melody, the words, the feelings it brings. Emotional connection is what sticks in someone's mind, not empty space. The key to making a man miss you so deeply lies in emotional imprinting. This is what really makes him think about you constantly and struggle to focus on anything else. If you simply disappear without first creating that emotional connection, nothing happens. His mind doesn't chase you because there's nothing meaningful to chase. You just fade into the background, like a song that stopped playing, and he barely notices. But when you understand how to use what I call emotional withdrawal, something fascinating happens. Suddenly, his brain starts searching, not for you directly, but for the feelings he experienced when he was with you. These feelings become the real trigger for longing. He can't get them anywhere else, and that's when the missing starts in earnest. There's a scientific reason behind this. When someone enjoys pleasure and it's suddenly taken away, the brain responds in a very specific way. It doesn't just release dopamine when we get what we want, it releases it when we're anticipating it. That anticipation, that longing, is what drives craving. Most women do this completely backward. They constantly constantly give dopamine hits through texts, attention, or always being available. Then they wonder why pulling away doesn't make him want them more. The problem is they never created the gap, the space for him to anticipate. So how can you do this correctly? It begins with understanding the 3 types of emotional memory men form about women. The first is comfort memory. This is safe, pleasant, predictable. He likes being around you, but he doesn't truly crave you. The second is attraction memory. This is exciting, physical, sometimes intense, but often superficial. He may want you physically, but he doesn't miss you deeply. Then there's the third type, the one that creates true obsession. This is identity memory. This is where the magic happens. When you make him feel like a better version of himself, he starts associating those feelings with you. Identity memory activates parts of his personality he rarely shows, the sides of him he admires but doesn't often express. When you see him in this way, he feels more alive, confident, capable, and interesting than he usually does. That emotional connection links directly to his sense of self-worth. When you're gone, he's not just missing you, he's missing who he is when he's with you. This is the difference between someone forgetting you exist and someone lying awake, wondering when they'll experience that feeling again. Coming up, I'm going to show you exactly how to trigger identity memory in any man, so he can't stop thinking about the way you make him feel. Let's talk about how confidence creates the space a man actually craves. No matter how long you've known him or what your current situation is, there's one thing that destroys identity memory faster than anything else: predictability. When he can guess exactly how you'll react, what you'll say, or when you'll be available, you become emotionally flat in his mind. There's no excitement, no mystery, no reason for his brain to stay engaged. But unpredictability doesn't mean being unreliable or flaky. It means being emotionally alive, showing different sides of yourself in ways he doesn't expect. You stay connected and warm one day and busy the next, not as a game, but because your life is rich and full. The most magnetic women I know move like this naturally. They show up fully when they are present and disappear gracefully when they are absent. There's no desperation, no overthinking, no wondering if they're doing the right thing. They live according to their own energy and let men adjust to their rhythm instead of constantly chasing or analyzing them. This creates what I call the emotional roller coaster effect. Not the unhealthy kind where you are hot and cold to manipulate someone, but the interesting kind where he never knows exactly which version of you he will see, and he finds every version fascinating. Now here's how to use this to create identity memory with any man starting tonight. The key is reflecting back to him the parts of himself he loves but rarely expresses. Every man has aspects of his personality that make him proud, yet he doesn't often show them. Maybe he's funny but has a serious job. Maybe he's creative but spends most of his time being practical. Maybe he's adventurous but stuck in routine. Maybe he's intelligent but surrounded by people who don't appreciate it. Your role is to notice and celebrate these hidden parts, not overtly but subtly. For example, when he makes a joke, don't just laugh. Highlight that he has a unique sense of humor. When he shares an idea, don't just agree. Let him know he has an interesting mind. When he takes a small risk, acknowledge his adventurous spirit. Most women compliment men on obvious things, their looks, their jobs, or possessions. The compliments that create identity memory are different. They recognize character, quirks, and traits he values, but rarely hears acknowledged. When you do this consistently, something amazing happens. You become associated with his favorite version of himself. Men naturally become drawn to people who make them feel their best. Here's the part most women miss. After creating this identity memory, after showing him this version of himself, you have to step back. You can't always be there to give him that feeling. This is where emotional withdrawal comes in. Strategic absence becomes powerful at this point. Not random disappearance, but carefully creating space so he begins to miss the emotions and the way he feels when he's with you. That craving, that longing, is when identity memory transforms into real obsession. This is about absence, but not random disappearance or playing games. It's about intentional space that allows the emotional imprint you've created to echo in his mind. Soon, I'm going to give you a full framework for creating and using emotional withdrawal, including specific strategies for texting and timing that will actually change how he thinks about you. Let's start with the art of strategic presence and absence. This isn't about playing hard to get or vanishing unpredictably. It's about understanding emotional rhythm and using it to create a pull he can't resist. The method I use is called the peak and valley approach. The idea is simple. Create emotional peaks through meaningful connection, then allow valleys to form. Peaks happen when you're fully present, engaging, and showing parts of yourself that are rare or hidden. You reflect his best qualities and create emotional depth. These moments don't have to be long. Sometimes the most powerful peaks are short, intense flashes of connection. Then, instead of staying at the same energy level constantly, you step back into a valley. You become less available, not cold, but mysterious. You show him glimpses of your life while living fully, allowing him to only be part of it sometimes, not all the time. Valleys are crucial because this is when his mind starts processing what happened during the peaks. Emotional memory is strengthened in this contrast. This is when he begins craving the next peak experience with you. Most women fear valleys because they worry it will damage connection. In reality, valleys make peaks meaningful. Without contrast, moments lose intensity. Without space, longing never builds. For example, imagine you have an incredible conversation with him one evening. You connect, laugh, and share something meaningful. That's a peak. Instead of immediately recreating it through texts or calls, allow space. Be a little less available for a day or two. Let him sit with the memory without diluting it. During this valley period, you're not ignoring him completely, but you're not chasing either. You're neutral, yet warm if he reaches out. You focus on your life, creating a sense of mystery about what you're doing and who you're with. Something fascinating happens during this time. His brain replays the peak experience, thinking about when it will happen again. He wonders what you're doing, and the emotional memory of how good he felt intensifies because it isn't constantly interrupted by messages or calls. Now let's talk about practical tactics for emotional withdrawal, starting with texting. This is where most women unknowingly sabotage themselves. The biggest mistake is treating texting like normal conversation instead of emotional currency. Every text should either build anticipation, spark curiosity, or reinforce identity memory. Sending messages just to fill silence or keep the connection alive dilutes the effect. The goal is to make him feel the same peaks and valleys through communication. Using your texts strategically to remind him of your emotional impact without overdoing it. Overgiving and constant contact can actually kill his desire to miss you. When you're always available, always responding, always giving, it works against you. Here's a powerful texting approach instead. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" try something like, "Just had a thought about something you said yesterday. It's been on my mind." Then pause. Don't explain right away. Let him ask. Let him wonder. This builds curiosity and keeps him thinking about you, even when you're apart. Another method is the callback text. Reference something from a previous conversation that highlighted a part of his personality. For example, "Saw something today that reminded me of your story about your trip to Japan. Your adventurous side is really impressive." This reinforces identity memory and creates a small dopamine boost. The key with texting is not to be constantly available. Don't match his response time exactly, and don't feel pressured to keep the conversation going. Sometimes send something intriguing and then disappear for a few hours. This doesn't mean being rude or manipulative. It means valuing your own life, your time, and your energy. Immediate availability lowers your perceived value in his mind. Strategic absence, on the other hand, makes him think about you more and builds anticipation. This is how you maintain the emotional pull while still showing you're a confident, independent woman. Now, let's deal with a common problem. What if you've already been too available? Maybe you've been the one texting first, always answering immediately, always accommodating his schedule and energy. Can this be reversed? Absolutely. But it requires a strategic shift, and it may feel a little uncomfortable at first. The key is something I call a pattern interrupt. You need to break the predictable rhythm you've established and create curiosity about why things are different. It's not about being dramatic or obvious. It's about subtle, intentional change. To start, gradually reduce your availability. Don't suddenly go from texting all day to complete silence. That's too extreme and can backfire. Instead, slowly take longer to respond. For example, if you normally reply within 5 minutes, start taking 30 minutes. If you usually text him first, wait for him to reach out occasionally. By shifting your pattern in a calm, steady way, you create mystery and curiosity. He begins noticing the change without feeling pressured or rejected. The small adjustment signals that your time and attention are valuable, which increases his desire to connect with you even more. To build mystery without playing games, small changes matter. If you usually send a good morning text first, skip it sometimes. If you're always free when he wants to meet, start making other plans now and then. The goal is not to confuse him in a negative way, but to create a gentle shift he can feel. He should notice that something is different without being able to clearly explain what changed. This kind of uncertainty keeps his mind engaged, and when someone becomes mentally engaged, they start thinking more, wondering more, and slowly that curiosity turns into craving. There is real psychology behind why this works. When a person is always available, the brain starts to see them as a constant resource that will never go away. There is no urgency, no sense of loss, and no strong reason to give them priority. But when availability becomes less certain, the brain starts to see that person as something valuable that could be lost. This feeling naturally triggers a desire to hold on and to move closer. Still, you must be careful during this change. Don't suddenly become cold or distant. Don't act angry about the past. Just be more selective about when and how you give your time and energy. Show him, without saying it directly, that your time is valuable and meaningful. Let him feel that being part of your life is something special, not something automatic. Now let's talk about the situation after a breakup, because this is where emotional withdrawal becomes even more powerful. If you have recently separated and you want him to think about you deeply, the first thing to understand is that your natural instincts may lead you in the wrong direction. Your heart might tell you to message him, to explain your feelings, to fix what went wrong, or to remind him of what he is losing. All of these actions, even if they come from love, can work against you. They reduce the mystery, lower your value in his eyes, and stop the emotional withdrawal from doing its work. Instead, you need to step back fully for a meaningful period of time, not only from his messages, but from his daily awareness. No checking his social media, no reacting to his stories, no appearing at places where he might be, and no sending messages through mutual friends. You quietly step away and give complete space. This kind of absence feels strong and real, and it gives his mind time to reflect and remember. But this is what makes this different from normal no-contact advice. While you are away from his world, you are not sitting and waiting for him to come back. You are actively improving your own life. You are growing, learning, exploring, and becoming stronger in ways he would never expect if he could see them. The effect of this is powerful. While he might expect you to chase, to feel lost, or to depend on him, you are becoming someone who stands on her own. This creates a strong contrast in his mind that makes him question his assumptions. That inner conflict creates deep thinking. He starts wondering about you, imagining what you're doing, and remembering how things felt before. Now let's talk about the mistakes that can destroy emotional withdrawal and make someone forget you instead of remembering you. The biggest mistake is breaking your own absence. You create space, and slowly he begins to feel that missing feeling. But then you reach out because you miss him too. or because you feel scared that you're losing him. The moment you do that, the whole emotional structure you built starts to weaken. It shows that your absence was not strong and not lasting. One of the biggest mistakes women make is faking absence. If he senses that you're pulling away as part of a game, it backfires. Real emotional withdrawal only works when it's authentic. You don't need constant contact because your life is full, not because you're trying to manipulate him. When your absence naturally comes from having your own priorities, it feels real. Another common mistake is being inconsistent with your energy when you do interact. If he reaches out during your space, don't respond coldly or punish him. Be warm but brief, happy but not overeager. This shows you enjoy hearing from him, but you're not desperate for his attention. A critical error women often make is not working on themselves during periods of absence. If you spend your space obsessing over him, stalking social media, or analyzing his actions, you remain energetically present in his world. Even if you're quiet, you're still in a needy frequency. The most magnetic women use alone time to grow. They pursue hobbies, deepen friendships, advance careers, improve health, and explore new interests. When they reconnect, they are genuinely more attractive because they've been evolving. Your absence should reflect growth, not anxiety or longing. The mindset behind this is what makes the process effortless instead of draining. Women who naturally inspire obsession don't focus on making someone miss them. They focus on living well. They honor their own needs and create a life so fulfilling that anyone who wants to be part of it must bring value. This shift changes everything. Instead of asking, "How do I make him miss me?" you ask, "How do I create a life so amazing that anyone would miss being part of it?" The focus is on your growth, not his behavior. When you operate from this mindset, emotional withdrawal becomes natural. You're not always available because you have important things to do. You don't text constantly because your life fulfills you in other ways. You don't chase because you are not coming from a place of lack. This authentic self-focus is magnetic. Men are drawn to women who are truly content with their own lives because that contentment is rare. Being unavailable in this way increases your value while staying genuine. It's attraction without manipulation. To put this into action, start with pattern disruption. If you've been too available, reduce response times by about 50%. If you usually reply in 5 minutes, wait 10. If you usually respond immediately, take an hour. This small shift sparks curiosity without seeming dramatic. Next, do an energy audit. Review your past week. How much emotional energy went toward him versus your own life and goals? Aim for 70% toward yourself and no more than 30% toward him. If it's skewed, adjust. Then, create peak experiences during your interactions. Focus entirely on emotional depth. Ask questions that reveal his personality. Share something genuine. Make him laugh and create moments that stand out. After the peak, step into strategic absence. Be less available for 48 to 72 hours. Don't initiate contact. Let him sit with the positive experience without diluting it. Finally, implement consistently. Keep the peak and valley rhythm. Continue prioritizing your own life and be selective about engagement. This isn't a one-time trick, it's a lifestyle shift. If he doesn't respond the way you hope, that's valuable information. Not every man will respond to emotional withdrawal. If he doesn't miss you, the connection wasn't deep enough. Don't take it personally. Some men prefer women who are always available because it's easier for them. Those are not the men you want. The right man will step up, be intentional, and value the time he spends with you because he knows it's not guaranteed. The goal is not to manipulate, it's to show your best self with boundaries and standards. The strategies I've shared work best when used to reconnect with your own power and self-worth. You're not trying to convince anyone to want you. You're simply being selective about who gains access to the amazing woman you already are. When your life is full, your energy is strong, and your presence is magnetic, missing you becomes a natural consequence. The magic isn't in tricks or tactics, it's in living fully, valuing yourself, and letting others recognize your worth naturally.